major area of the game. As we come out into the hall, you can hear that the radio's going off. It's emitting static, which means that we have enemies nearby. Right now, while we're out in the hallway, we don't have anything to deal with except a couple of lying figures, which are the enemies we saw skittering around the town. They can be a little bit of a pain to deal with in here because it's an enclosed space, so if they start skittering around at you, they can be a little bit annoying. I really like the way, once I get out of the kitchen, I like the way this is framed. So we have a flashlight, but more interesting is the dress on the mannequin. If you look at the photograph that you started the game with, the photo of James's wife Mary, she is wearing the same exact dress that you find on the mannequin here. And as soon as you take the flashlight, this mannequin in the background springs to life and starts trying to attack you. So that's going to be a new enemy type from now on. A new enemy type which has been inextricably linked to James's wife by way of that dress. So we have a flashlight now. That's going to make things a little bit easier for us, so we can navigate the dark a little bit better. And it's a staple, much like the radio is. It's a staple of Silent Hill. There's a few interesting gameplay mechanics with it, which I'll talk about in a moment because we're about to get a cutscene. There's a key on the ground. James can try to reach his hand to the other side of the bar, and this'll happen.
Ow! Hey, wait! Damn it.
Now we start to get the spooky music going. So that was Laura. She's a shit kid. She is a kid who I harbor an embarrassing amount of hatred for. I, being a grown man, should not hate a child, a fictional child, as much as I hate Laura. But she shows up just to kick the key out of James's reach. There's a shopping cart in the middle of the room. This room is pockmarked, as James observed, with bullet holes. In that shopping cart, we get our first firearm, the handgun, which is almost always the first firearm that you're going to find in a Silent Hill game. So we have a handgun. We haven't really found any ammo for it yet. And this being survival horror, ammo is going to be somewhat limited. So we're going to have to keep the key in mind. We're going to have to come back from the other side of the apartment on the upper floor later on. We have to work our way around the apartments to get up there now. And this foreboding little hallway where we heard a scream at the other end and we found some bloodstains. The radio's going off. That gives me chills. It still gives me chills. That is our first look at Pyramid Head. First look at Pyramid Head. And he does nothing but stand across the bars from you, and it's so freaky. We have a memo here. This is going to be, I believe, a puzzle room in a little bit. So we'll check this memo out because it will give us a hint. 3 needles stand at 3 different heights. The fat, the tall, and the thin. From slow to fast, they move to the right. Scott rests not on 3, but 15. Scott rests not on 3, but on 15. We find a gory little scene in this living room apartment, and we find a key to room 202 in here as well, which is important enough. There's also this. There's written on the wall are the words Henry, Mildred, and Scott, with arrows next to each one of them. That old man slumped in the chair, by the way, is clearly James's model, and even his same clothing. The scars from the past shall remove the nails that stop time. So you can try to push this big grandfather clock out of the way, but it does not budge. So the other thing we can do is we can try to move the arms of the clock. We can try to move the needles, but we also can't do that because we need a key to unlock the glass plate, or we need something to get rid of that glass plate so we can move the hands on the clock. Did I call them arms before? I think I did. So yeah, there might be some significance to the fact that you find James's model. Something modeled after James, which looks identical to him slumped over dead in that chair. But that'll have to remain a bit of a tease, a bit of foreshadowing for now. But yeah, that is indeed James. So we picked up the key to room 202 in that last room. So let's see why we were able to grab that. First of all, I think there's a health drink in here. There is an eerie red glow coming out of the sink, and a lot of cages with nothing inside. And then you can see the ambient lighting in this room is very green. This room is filled with moths and butterflies. It's too dark to tell for sure. I'm gonna reach my hand in. We get the clock key, so now we can go back into the room with the clock and we can finish solving that puzzle and we can move the clock out of the way to see what's behind it. Also, that's going to be the first of many, many, many times that James just goes sticking his hands into strange holes. Has that been a Silent Hill 3 episode name before? I feel like it has, because that's about to be this episode's title, if not. Yeah, James, he's gonna get himself into some strange holes. You can see James's model staring at the TV again. It's all static. He was bored to death. Okay, so the deal with this puzzle is that we have to open up the clock face with the clock key. Forgot that. Oh man, I was wrong with that Resident Evil comment that I made last episode. We do have to go into the inventory and use the key manually. So I'm going to try to set the clock to 9:10. The reason for that being is because the memo that we read was describing a clock. Henry, Mildred, and Scott is hours, minutes, and seconds. So Henry rested on 9, which means 9 o'clock. Mildred, which is the minute hand, was on 2, which means the clock should be set to 9:10. And then Scott was at 3, which is 15 seconds, but since you can't move the second hand, you only need to move hours and minutes to 9:10. And that reveals the gap between the apartments, so we can get over here now. Most importantly, though, is if you turn out of the room, we're now on the other side of those bars. So we're now able to access the second half of the apartments. This side of the apartments was cut off prior to solving that puzzle. So I believe Laura kicked the key away from us up here on the 3rd floor. So we should be able to get that key now. The spot where I was before on the 2nd floor behind that gate is where we saw Pyramid Head before. As soon as you enter the room here, James stumbles upon something pretty damn disturbing. He walks in on Pyramid Head in one of the most famous scenes in all of Silent Hill, which happens to nearly be a shot-for-shot reference to Blue Velvet. In this scene, it appears that Pyramid Head is raping two mannequins. I have to dance around spoilers a little bit, but let's see. I'll just say that Silent Hill, as I've said before, is a mirror that reflects the traumas and the sins of the people in it, and the monsters reflect the game's themes and the traits of the characters. A lot of Heather's monsters, for instance, in Silent Hill 3 had symbolism which related to puberty, to menstruation, to pregnancy and childbirth. Pyramid Head is James's monster. They're connected for some reason. We don't really know why. Off the bat, just with that scene, we have some kind of an idea. Mannequins are not only very feminized in this game, but the first mannequin that we encounter, the dormant one, was wearing Mary's dress, so the mannequins are directly linked to James's wife, Mary. What it sounds like I'm hinting at is that James may have raped Mary. I am not saying that at all, actually. That's not what I'm trying to get at. What I am saying is that the scene with Pyramid Head is much more about violence, particularly sexual violence. And before you start typing that comment up, I know that rape tends to be a crime that's more about power and not necessarily about sex. But stick with me here. It's sexualized violence. Pyramid Head has, for instance, no genitals, and what he's doing could at best be described as like clumsy, dry humping. So the scene isn't so much about the mannequins being raped as it is an expression of sexualized violence on Pyramid Head's part. Recently, I've begun to think of that scene as an attempted rape. Pyramid Head physically cannot have sex with those mannequins despite him trying to. So instead, he gets frustrated and kills them and tries to dispose of them. Honestly, it sounds like I'm splitting hairs here, but there is a distinction that I'm trying to make with that. There is some nuance there that, if you get it, foreshadows a lot. And it's a lot more true. It's a reading that's a lot more true to the game's themes than this being a black and white, like, brute force rape on Pyramid Head's part. It's a super disturbing scene no matter what, but there's a lot to unpack, and a lot that I can't say explicitly right now because it would spoil a lot. I'm just throwing that out there, that there's a connotation there, and you shouldn't necessarily think of it as a rape, as violence that happens to have a strong sexual overtone to it. Also, we just dropped a big can of juice down a garbage chute so we could dislodge some garbage that James clairvoyantly realized would have this important coin in there, and a gossip magazine. The police announced today that Walter Sullivan, who was arrested on the 18th of this month for the brutal murder of Billy Locane and his sister Miriam, committed suicide in his jail cell early in the morning of the 22nd. According to the police statement, Sullivan used a soup spoon to stab himself in the neck, severing his carotid artery. By the time the guard discovered him, Sullivan was dead from blood loss, the spoon buried 2 inches in his neck. An old schoolmate of Walter Sullivan's from his hometown of Pleasant River said he didn't look like the type of guy who would kill kids. But I do remember that just before they arrested him, he was blurting out all sorts of strange stuff, like, quote, "He's trying to kill me, he's trying to punish me, the monster, the red devil, forgive me, I did it, but it wasn't me." The schoolmate then added, "I guess now that I think of it, he was kind of crazy." So we have a reference to what appears to be Pyramid Head, the red devil. Pyramid Head, also known as the Red Pyramid Thing, I think is a more official name. I think Pyramid Head just happens to be like a colloquial name given to him by the fans. But Walter Sullivan is also the name of a character who appears in a later Silent Hill game. He appears in Silent Hill 4 as the main antagonist. He's the serial killer from Silent Hill 4 The Room. Oh shit, I fell into the pool by accident. That actually hurts you a little bit. Disturbingly, there is another coin in this abandoned baby stroller that's been left in the middle of this drained pool. So, God, I always forget where to go here. At least I remember to pick the key up this time. When I streamed Silent Hill 2 a while back, I got super lost because I forgot to pick a key up. I had no idea that I hadn't picked it up. It's very... like, there are things in this game that are like LucasArts adventure game-esque in how sometimes difficult it can be to find little things on the floor that you need to pick up. Oh, I was saying before, God, I'm splitting two thoughts now. The flashlight is as much a staple as the radio is in Silent Hill, and it has a neat little mechanic to it. You need to have it on when you're in dimly lit areas in order to read the map or to pick up certain key items or even to use certain key items. So if it's too dark and you don't have your flashlight on, you can't do a lot of stuff. But like the loud static from your radio, the light can attract monsters to you. It's a pretty cool little system. Stealth doesn't play into the game as much as you would think it might, though. So we got a little tourist brochure here. Welcome to Silent Hill. Very pleasant place. Silent Hill, a quiet little lakeside resort town. We're happy to have you. Take some time out of your busy schedules and enjoy a nice, restful vacation here. Row after row of quaint old houses, a gorgeous mountain landscape, and a lake which shows different sides of its beauty with the passing of the day, from sunrise to late afternoon to sunset. Silent Hill will move you and fill you with a feeling of deep peace. I hope your time here will be pleasant and your memories will last forever. Editor Roger Widmark. The only reason I stopped in here to show that brochure off is because you can find the exact same brochure in Heaven's Night in Silent Hill 3. And speaking of references to other games, this is where my thoughts kind of splintered off before. Not only is Walter Sullivan, the character who's referenced in that magazine clipping before, not only is he the antagonist of Silent Hill 4, Silent Hill 2 and 4 actually share a couple of connections. Rachel, Mary's nurse, is a character in 4, and James's dad is also referenced in Silent Hill 4 The Room. So let's go investigate that gross puking noise.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Do what?
I didn't do anything. I swear. He was like this when I got here.
My name's James. James Sunderland.
Eddie.
Eddie. Who's that dead guy in the kitchen?
I didn't do it. I swear I didn't kill anybody.
You're not friends with that red pyramid thing.
Red pyramid thing? I don't know what you're talking about. Honest. But I did see some weird looking monsters. They scared the hell out of me, so I ran in here.
Well, I guess this place isn't too safe either. What happened here anyway?
I told you, I don't know. I'm not even from this town. I just...
You too, huh? Something just brought you here, right?
that?
Well, whatever it is, I think you better get out of here soon.
Yeah, you're right. What about you?
I'll leave as soon as I'm done here. Eddie, be careful.
James, you be careful too.
That was Eddie. Eddie is kind of gross. He's also clearly repressing or denying having killed someone. And he's extra suspicious because the first thing that he does upon James walking in on him puking is deny that he killed anyone before you can even utter a word of accusation at him. Repression happens to be a major theme of the game. Everyone is repressing something or living in denial about something. We'll see another character soon who's in a similar boat to Eddie. So you have to encounter Eddie before you can do something. Oh, no, this is not where I want to be. I think I want to go across to the other side. Yeah, this is where we initially crossed over using the clock that we pushed out of the way. So we're going back to the other side now. Like I was saying, you have to meet Eddie before you can progress further into the apartments. And if you don't trigger that cutscene by going into the room with him, at some point you'll come to a door and James will just be like, "No, I can't go through it. I feel some supernatural force stopping me," as a really strange method of halting your progress for a little bit. So you have to trigger that cutscene before you can move forward. We cross over from Woodside Apartments over to the adjacent Blue Creek Apartments, because there was no fire escape there. It's just built wall to wall. And cue strange hole number 2, or in this case, disgusting, filthy toilet. Oh. Let's see, right to 13, left to 2, right to 19. 12, R13, L2, R19. I hope I have that memorized. Those are the best disgusting sound effects I've ever heard. They actually make my stomach churn a little bit when I have headphones in. So that was a safe combination. You don't actually have to do that, but James just loves sticking his hand places where it should not be. That's a safe combination for this save, which again is totally optional. So we go any direction over to 12, and then we go right to 13, I believe, and then left to 2. Shit, I went past it. And then right to 19. There we go. Did that in the wrong order. We get tons and tons and tons of handgun bullets from that save. Ammo's not necessarily going to be an issue. I'm going to be running past most enemies because it's a survival horror game, and that's just what you do. But it's never a bad idea to have some around. Silent Hill is a lot more generous than, say, Resident Evil in terms of ammo scarcity. It fits the framework of survival horror, but it's the actual horror of the game comes from the psychological aspect of it. So ammo conservation, not as critical a component in Silent Hill 2 as it is in, say, Remake or RE2 or 3. First aid kits are nice, though. They, oh, right, I forgot about the bugs. I didn't get the map for this area yet. Fuck, I know it's a stairwell somewhere and I always miss it. It's okay, I know the apartments pretty well that even if I end up missing the map, I shouldn't have a problem. And before I deal with that, I'm going to save real quick. Actually, I can't deal with that yet because I'm still missing a coin. There was that cabinet behind us, and it happens to have 5 openings. Those 5 openings are where we're going to be placing the coins that we've been collecting. So far, we have 2 coins. We need 3 in total. And then we can deal with that puzzle. So we got the first coin, which I think was the coin of the old man, from the garbage. We got the other one from the baby stroller in the pool, and we'll get another one once I find what I'm looking for. Rather, who I'm looking for. Let's see, we got handgun bullets in here. And through this door, we will find another character.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, I'm James.
Angela.
Angela, okay. I don't know what you're planning, but there's always another way.
Really? But you're the same as me. It's easier just to run. Besides, is what we deserve.
No, I'm not like you.
Are you afraid? I'm sorry.
It's okay. Did you find your mother?
Not yet. She's not anywhere.
Did she live in this apartment building?
I don't know.
So, all you know is she lived in this town.
What did you say? How do you know that?
Well, I just figured, 'cause this is where you're looking for her. How else would I know?
Yeah.
Am I right?
I'm so tired.
So, why did you come to this town anyway?
I'm sorry. Did you find the person you're looking for?
Not yet. Her name's Mary. She's my wife.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Anyway, she's dead. I don't know why I think she's here.
She's dead?
Don't worry. I'm not crazy. At least, I don't think so.
I've got to find my mama.
Should I go with you? This town's dangerous. Now I know what you meant back there in the cemetery.
I'll be okay by myself. Besides, I'd just slow you down.
What about that?
Will you hold it for me?
Sure. No problem.
If I kept it, I'm not sure what I might do. I'm sorry. I mean bad. Please don't.
So we have magazines all over the place. We got Angela's knife. Most importantly, we got the third coin, which is the prisoner coin. This is not a weapon, but it is an item that we can examine. It's been stained red, and James does not intend on using it. So I took some damage at some point, so I'm... Oh, falling into the pool. So I'm gonna use that health drink. And... wow. Yeah, so it's Angela again. Both encounters now, something has been severely wrong. She's clearly mentally ill. She's suicidal. She's speaking like a child, despite the fact that she's supposed to be 19. She's endured some trauma. Like when James goes to take the knife from her... Whoa, that camera. When James goes to take the knife from her, she screams and brandishes at him. It's also significant that we find the prisoner coin, which has a woman on the face of it. We find that in Angela's room. She is, in some sense, a prisoner. So for this puzzle, we have a memo here on the desk. 3 bright coins in 5 holes B. At one end sits the seducer of she. Damn it. The wind from behind, the woman doth play, the formless one, no lies furthest from they. I cannot speak right now. The old one, beside the serpent, sits not. 'Tis to the prisoner's left that he doth rot. So, we have 3 coins, we have 5 slots, and we have that memo to go on. So, the first slot is supposed to be empty, and then it's going to be the old man, then the prisoner, then another empty slot, and then the snake. And I'll explain why that's the solution. The poem says that the seducer is at one end, and at the other end, it should be empty. The seducer is the snake, like in the Garden of Eden. So the snake goes on either the left or the right end. I'm just telling you right now it's the right end. The next line is the wind from behind the woman doth play. It's describing an empty slot behind a woman. Since the prisoner coin has a woman on it, she's the woman, and on the coin she's facing the left, so there's an empty slot behind her, meaning there will be an empty space directly to the prisoner coin's right. We're also told that the old man is not next to the serpent, and that he is to the left of the prisoner. So the only way you can arrange the coins in those 5 holes to make all that true is empty old man, prisoner, empty snake. So we're going to get deeper into things next time. The Woodside apartments have proven pretty eventful so far. We have met Eddie, who has problems. We have met Angela, who has problems. We've jumped. We've stuck our hands in strange holes that we should have never stuck them in. And we're learning a little bit about James's baggage through the medium of Pyramid Head, who is the most disturbing and the most enigmatic figure that we have met so far. Also, I just remembered where the map is. It's right here in the corner, curled up, kind of easy to miss, but this is the map of the West apartment building. So now we have a good map of the Blue Creek apartment building, along with the map that we have from the beginning of the Woodside apartments. Let's see, so is there anything oh, right, there's actually a little bit of Angela trivia that I had. Her voice actor is the voice actress of Claudia from Silent Hill 3. And the body that the closer that you first meet in the mall in Silent Hill 3 is a reused Angela model. So Angela making some cameos in Silent Hill 3. Not necessarily like plot or thematic significant cameos, but just something there that's cool to note. And we have a note on the bed. Painting is displayed here. Wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. We also have a key, which is... Wow, that's easy to miss. Alright, let's save it up, and we will tackle the rest of the apartments and get back out onto the streets of the town next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.